What are some of the top programming languages that are most in demand for 2023? If you are watching this video, it's probably because of a few things. One, you are looking to break into the tech industry and just want more information on what tech companies are using, what languages are in demand. Two, you have been in the tech industry for a while. Maybe you're a software engineer, QA, product manager, and you want to know and have a better understanding of what trends are coming up in 2023. Regardless of why you're here watching this video, you will leave this video with an understanding of the top programming languages coming up for 2023, and also to how to learn them, where to learn them, because that is very key. I've been a software developer for over 5 years now, started out in QA, moved to back-end, front-end, and now I'm in developer relations. So knowing what programming languages are really in demand ahead of time is very important for me, as I need to stay up to date on tech trends, what's coming up, and also be able to speak about these different technologies, understand them. And that's why I always do this research regardless of what top programming languages are coming up, what programming languages are in demand. So I thought I would share my data and research with you. Okay, let's go. Oh, also, thank you so much for Udemy to sponsoring this video. I love Udemy. It's how I first learned to code. I still use it today for all my upskilling. Link them down below, and all the courses I'm mentioning are linked down below, so go check them out. Can you guess the first one on the list? I'll give you a second here. If you guessed Python, you are correct. And it's probably no surprise, mainly because Python is used among many different roles, from data scientist, web developer, QA. Python touches a lot of roles and is used for many different things. I really think that is one of the reasons why Python continues to dominate on a lot of these lists. Another reason is because the entry to learning Python is pretty straightforward. Now, let's go back and have a little bit of an understanding as to how Python originated. Python was originally developed as a hobby project, which sounds crazy now just how much it exploded. It was mainly developed for emphasis on code readability, no surprise here, and also its syntax allows for programmers to express concepts in fewer lines of code. Well, yeah, sure, give me a sec. So why should you even learn Python? Well, for one thing, all the big tech companies, big and small, typically use Python to varying degrees. Another reason is if you are first starting out in your coding journey, Python is one of the better languages I would say to start with because of its readability. Okay, the most important question, where do you learn it? What course is the best? Now we are entering an age where the problem isn't where to find courses, it's there is so much information out there, how do you decipher which ones are the best? Enter in the complete Python bootcamp from zero to hero in Python. One of the reasons I really like this course is I actually took this course many years ago, or a few years ago when I was first learning Python, and I really liked it because it not only teaches you the basics from the essentials, but you also are building. You're building really interesting projects, and I think that's so key, which a lot of courses are missing because a lot of them you do the same courses over and over again, and I feel like with this course, you are building different games from blackjack, tic-tac-toe, and I just think it's really fun because the games you are building or the projects you are building can be applied to the real world. Coming in at number 2 on the list is Java. Java is a widely used object-oriented programming language and software platform that runs on billions of devices, including notebook computers, mobile devices, gaming consoles, medical devices, and more. Also, a really interesting fact about Java, its initial name was actually Oak. It was later changed to Java because at the time, there was already a programming language named Oak. Okay. Another interesting thing about Java is it was actually created on accident. Yes, you heard that right. James Gosling, the creator of Java programming, was working at somewhere called Sun Labs. They were working on some big projects and working with C++. Long story short, they ended up with Java, a new programming language. Pretty cool. Okay, if you are looking to learn Java as it is widely used across many different companies, here's where to go. Java Programming Masterclass that's covering Java 11 and Java 17. This course I love because it was recently updated actually in October of this year, which is huge, and they always release quite frequent updates as well. So why do I love this course in particular? One of the things that initially drew me to this course is I always look at the instructor's credentials. Who are they? Where do they come from? What is their background? And for me, I love that it is actually taught by a professional Java developer who hasn't just been in the industry for a few years, but has worked with the language for over 18 years. So not only do they know the positives of Java, but they also also know the downsides, the pitfalls, and I think that is almost more important because then they know how to teach in a way that they will know what you will come across, the problems you will face potentially with that language. Also too, in this course, it has 52 coding exercises. I don't typically see courses having this many exercises. Exercises are a great way when you are taking a course that is a little bit lengthier, that it breaks it up in a way to actually test your learning. Because sometimes, okay, maybe it's just me, but sometimes I kind of get dozy when I start watching courses and I have to rewind and figure out where I was. So having exercises within them is a great way to stay on top of things. Next on the list, my personal favorite, mainly because this was the programming language I learned on, which is JavaScript. Love it or hate it, JavaScript made it on this list, and it's here to stay for the time being. I love JavaScript because not only can you use it on front end, but you can also use it on the back end side of things. The original name for JavaScript was Mocha. It was developed in 1995 for use with Netscape 2 browser. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like they should have stuck with the name Mocha because too often, especially probably when it was first developed, between Java and JavaScript, people would get confused. Hopefully not anymore, but I think the names, you know, it's not the best, even though they're completely different. Now, what course to take for JavaScript? This was a tough one because JavaScript, I feel like there are just an overload of courses for JavaScript, and how do you know which one is the right one to take? This course I'll put on screen here really stood out to me, the complete JavaScript course from 2023, from 0 to expert. And why it stood out to me, well, the first thing, if I'm being honest, is the number of ratings. It almost has 200,000 ratings. It has almost 1 million students, 700,000 students, with a 4.7 star rating. So you know, based on the numbers, based on the data, this is a good course already by just looking at that. Another thing that stood out to me is just how quickly they updated. The last update was this month in November. And I also like too how it's structured in a way where you can start at the beginning from beginner, just starting out, or if you are someone who already is a developer but you aren't as familiar with JavaScript, you can start at the beginning to learn the fundamentals, or there are projects where you can start in on and just start building with those. Let's take this off for a little bit. Next on the list is Swift. Swift has continued to gain popularity as iOS becomes more and more popular. People want more apps, people want more games. It's not going anywhere. It is a programming language that ensures you have a really stable career as apps, and iOS development isn't going anywhere. If you look at the numbers, it's continuing to go up and more in demand. And honestly, I have just tinkered around with Swift, but it is so much fun. It took me a minute to wrap my head around, but I really actually love Xcode. I know maybe that's because I'm not a professional iOS developer. I feel like iOS developers always say the opposite, but just the visual aspect of it is really exciting to me. Okay, course time. Which iOS course do you take? You know this wouldn't be a proper list without including a Dr. Angela course. She is OG, is that what you can say? Original. She is just, I love her courses. I've taken some of her Python courses and she's just incredible. She's brilliant in my opinion. Okay, Angela, if you're watching this, you probably aren't, but if you ever do watch this, I love you. You're amazing. You've really helped me in my coding career. This is a great iOS and Swift course. You will learn to create a portfolio of 15 different apps to be able to go from junior developer to senior. And I love that this really enables you to build so many interesting projects that you can speak about. Here's a little side tip. After you are done taking this course, a really great way or thing to do that I do when I'm taking a course is a project that I really liked or resonated with. I'll build it again without the tutorial, but build it in something that I'm interested in. For example, in this course, one of the things that you will be building is an animated dice roll. So what you could do after you've done that example is you could start by building an animated object that you are interested in, maybe something other than a dice. And this is a great way to take your learnings and apply them to your own projects. Last, but definitely not least on this list is, I got the green screen, C++. We couldn't end this list without C++. It's been around for a while, it is a classic, and it's not going anywhere. C++ is a powerful general-purpose programming language. It can be used to develop operating systems, browsers, games, and further. Now, where do you learn C++? Put it up on screen here, the course that I really enjoyed. I started taking this course, I'll be honest with you, I've never used C++ in my work, so I was just curious about it, to understand it, and to have a deeper understanding. And I think that's one of the things, as a side note, that's really interesting about all these courses is don't just take them just because it's what you are going to be using currently at work. If you are curious about something, why not take it just to learn something new? I don't think we do that enough. This course really stood out to me when I was looking for C++ courses because it teaches a modern C++ rather than an obsolete version that many courses will be teaching you. Now, this course is pretty long in length. It's about 45, almost 46 hours actually in length, and that can be intimidating at first to many. Why am I going to take this course that's so long? But one thing that really helped me, or I really enjoyed about it, is how well it's broken down into sections. So just as another tip for you, what I do when I'm taking a course is I will break them down into, or I'll schedule my time and learnings based on the sections it's already broken down into. Okay, those are the top 5 programming languages for 2023. Now let's get something clear here. Just because these are the top 5 programming languages for 2023 doesn't mean that there aren't tons more out there that are in demand. And I want to make that clear because sometimes I'll get comments being like, well, Tiff, I really want to learn Go, I really want to learn this and that. You don't have this on the list. Still learn it. The whole purpose of this list, based on the research I've done, isn't to say these are the only 5 you can learn, but to inspire and inform you of what is coming up for 2023. Also, I want to end this video with a final note. A lot of times we make these videos talking about the technical skills that you need to learn, which are so important, but even if you have the strongest technical skills without the soft skills, it's going to be hard to grow your career in a very successful long-term way. Yes, you can be that person who doesn't talk to anyone ever and just have a successful career that way, potentially, but what I love about Udemy is they also offer so many other courses on the soft skill side of things for leadership, public speaking, personal development. All those are equally as important, so please do not forget about those kind of courses as well. I linked everything down below as well, so make sure to go check them out, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more tech, coding, career-related videos. Any questions, leave them down in the comments. I answer every single one of them. Okay, see you soon.